Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Darin and this is DerinsCorner. On this channel, I talk about travel, lifestyle, and all things food. If this is your first time, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and turn on your notifications. And today I'm going to be showing you how I make a popular party food. This is like party food that is always in almost all small shops, and that is asun. Asun is a Nigerian dish that is made from spicy grilled or roasted goat meat, typically chopped in small pieces and tossed in a peppery sauce. The main ingredient for asun is goat meat, and obviously you're going to be adding lots of Scotch bonnet, a lot of not a lot of bell pepper, just one bell pepper is enough. You're gonna have a lot of garlic and lots and loads of habanero, and of course you're gonna be having onions and ginger, and that is the base for the peppery sauce for asu. But before we go into that, the peppery sauce, let's start off by washing our goat meat. So this goat meat was purchased from Costco, that boxed popular Costco goat meat is what I'm using right now, and this goat meat comes as pre-cut pieces, but the pieces are still a little bit bigger than what you would have for asun, because asun is like cubes of goat meat. So you still want to cut this into smaller cubes than what it would come in the packed goat meat from Costco. And then when you get the goat meat, make sure you rinse this thoroughly. You can see that it's still big chunks, which would not fit the asun profile that we are going for. So just make sure you rinse your meat thoroughly, and once you have your meat rinsed properly, that's the goat meat rinsed properly, you're going to just cut this into those small chunks like I said, and that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm going to go ahead and cut the bigger pieces of meat into smaller bits and cubes that would fit the normal asun profile. So just go ahead and continue to do this, and then we'll come back later. So now I've finished with the cutting of my goat meat. I just added some salt. You're also going to be adding in some blended your seasoning cube. Obviously you're going to add in that, and then you're going to be I'm adding in a blended spice mix, which is made up of garlic, ginger, and onions. Garlic, ginger, onions, and obviously Scotch bonnet, because like I said, the profile for asun is pepperish, so you want it to be very hot, and that's why you're going to be adding in habaneros to your blended spice mix to boil the meat. So this is going to go ahead and boil for about I would say 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, because the goat meat from Costco isn't that tough. So you can go ahead and boil this for 30 to 45 minutes. And this is what it looks like through the boiling. You can see the look. I'm going to use a fork to check if it's soft. And once my fork can go in, then that means it is good to go, because you're still going to grill this, right? So I'm just going to, set this aside, check it again just to be sure. And my hand, it's actually very tender, so I'm gonna set this aside and get ready with my air fryer to grill this. Now I have my air fryer pan, and I've just lined this with parchment paper. I always prefer to use parchment paper for my air fryer, so that is to ensure that it doesn't stick into the pan. I'm using my drain spoon, like a strainer, and I'm just gonna move the cooked goat meat into the parchment paper, and I'm gonna do this for all the goat meat I have in the pot. And once it's done, then I'm gonna go ahead and grill this till it's golden brown. And yeah, so you're gonna just grill it And you can also put it on roast, whichever one you prefer, but I'm using an air fryer, so I'm just going ahead with the grilling for the goat meat. And I'll just spread this properly. If you've ever used an air fryer before, you would know that you need to make sure that it's widely spread. Sometimes you don't want to put too much quantity in it, and this is at 390 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes. And once that is done, this is what it looks like. It's golden brown, but then because I put too much at the time and some part of the meat is not thoroughly grilled, so I'm gonna leave this, mix it, and then leave it for another 5 minutes, and that should do the work. That's what I'm doing. I'm just using my small tongs to mix the meat properly, and then I'm gonna close the lid. And you can see, if you zoom in, like you can see that some parts are not properly grilled, and while some parts are grilled. So I'm just going to allow this to grill again for another 5 minutes, and then I'm good to go. So after 5 minutes, this is it, and this is exactly what I was looking for. And now I'm ready to add in my pepper sauce. So this is good to go. We're going to go back to a frying pan on medium heat. You're going to pour in the grilled goat meat in that pan, and then you're going to blend in that habanero and bell peppers, as well as the onions that I showed you earlier on. And you're going to be adding the blended mixture into the goat meat. And that is the blended mixture. It's going to be roughly blended. You don't want the smooth paste. You just want it to be roughly blended. For Asun, you need to roughly blend your pepper sauce. And the pepper, you don't want to add tomatoes at all. And then you're going to be adding in some chopped onions as well into that mix. Some other people will fry this separately, but this is the way I like to do mine, because I want that pepper to kick in into the meat. So when you add the pepper sauce directly on the meat instead of frying separately, it makes it actually gives it that additional pepperish kick. That's just one trick I just gave you there. So I'm using 2 spatulas to mix it together. Make sure all your meat is evenly coated with that pepper mix and onions. So just continue to do that. Make sure you're using a wide pan for the quantity of meat. If your meat is bigger than this, you want to use a larger pan with some depth and width. So just continue to do that on medium heat. Continue to stir and mix. You don't need to add too much oil. I'm going to be using a sprayer later on. Like I said, the goat meat has its own oil, and because it's grilled, the oil definitely extracts into that sauce. But then, to prevent some little bit of dryness, we're going to be adding in spraying it with some oil at a later stage. So continue to mix, and then allow this to cook for a while on medium heat for another 7 to 10 minutes. And thereafter, you're going to be checking it again and stirring it, just like how I'm doing right now. Okay, so we're going to get a sprayer, spray with oil, round and round and round and round, and then we'll just continue to mix it and make sure it's evenly coated. And this is like after the 10-minute mark. You can see that it's not looking cooked and well mixed, and just continue to do this. For your asun, if you're the kind of person that doesn't like to see onions in your food, so this might not be a dish for you, because it's gonna be layered with lots of onions and pepper. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't like spicy food, you don't like hot food, you don't like onions in your food, then you need to skip making asun. This is really for the folks that love pepperish meat. They like that pepperish cake, and this is very good, to be served at parties, like when you're in the bar and you're having some beer or some alcoholic beverage. the pepperish meat would definitely kick in. So I just allowed this to cook a lot for a little while again, and shortly we're going to be removing it from the gas. And this is what the finished look of my asun looks like. So you can just pair this with some samosas, some spring rolls. You can pair it with puff puff, and you have a well-balanced small chop, right? You don't want to have small chops with just puff puff. No, you want to have that protein, the meat in it, and this is an exact accompaniment for that. So just try it. It's very easy to make, and you can also make it, to sit at home with Netflix and chill. We have Super Bowl coming up, we have Oscars, so this is like a kind of dish you make when you have friends over. You don't want to do too much, but then you still want to wow your guests, right? And you don't want to stress yourself. Just make this as soon and pair it with your drink of choice, and your visitors are going to be very happy, and you're going to be a good host. And so that's it, guys. That is what asun is all about. It's very easy to make. You can see that it didn't really take a long time, and it's kind of meal that it doesn't stress you, right? It's very easy to make. You don't need to labor in the kitchen for a long time. It's just an easy dish to make, and it's very, very lovely. Okay, so I just used a toothpick to pick up a piece of meat to bring it so that you guys can see properly. And you can actually use it for steak meat as well. The olden days steak meat where you put meat in sticks. This is also good for it. And yeah, just serve it in a bowl and put toothpicks and allow your guests to pick it. And that's it, guys. See how easy it is to make. It's very delicious and easy to make, like I said. So I'm just going to scoop this in a bowl, and I'm going to serve it to my guests. And yeah, that's it. It's very delicious, nice, soft, pepperish, all at the same time. So I'm going to add toothpicks so that it's easy for them to just pick and eat with it. And guys, that's a close-up look of how it looks. You can see that it's evenly coated with pepper, and it's absolutely delicious. When you bite into it, the pepperish flavor kicks in, and it's well seasoned as well. So you don't add too much seasoning, like you don't add all your spices. Just add those spices I mentioned, and you're good to go. And that's it, guys. See how it looks. The onions are translucent, the peppers evenly coat the goat meat, just exactly what you need. This is perfect. And the funny thing is that you can also eat it with pasta. You can eat it with rice as a side. You can put it on jollof rice. It's good for anything. You really can. It's a very versatile dish. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Bye.